Hi, this is Shiamak Davar, and thank you so much for having me on Desimartini.com. My first ever student, I don't remember. Phew. I think it was Rachel Rubin, Firoza Joshi, Farad Wadia. God, I don't remember. Many. Lucky Ali was one of them. And one of the choreographers who's big now, apparently, his name is Tarun Kumar. He also was one of my first students. So it was interesting to know that. I have no wish to train any celebrities because I think they're very hardworking. They're good. They're good in their work, and most of the dancers, for example, Tiger Shroff, he's a very good dancer. He doesn't need me. There are a lot of people who are very good naturally. They don't need me. They have their own way of doing things, and I certainly am not a person who does Michael Jackson movements a lot. I do a lot of Shiamak style movements or contemporary movements, or a completely Shiamak style Bollywood like Ullu Ka Patta. It's a very new style. So I really don't have any thoughts about that. I don't think that choreography is a very hard thing. I think it's a very interesting thing. I don't think of it as a challenge, or I don't think of it as a hard thing to do, as they say, what's the hardest thing to do. I don't think it's that way for me. I think for me it's more what interests me and what doesn't really interest me. And for me there's no hardest thing in the process of choreographing a Bollywood movie, because then I wouldn't be doing it. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't be doing it. So it wouldn't be hard for me because I always enjoy what I do. My favorite partner to dance with is Anisha. She's the best. She's she's the face of SDIPA. She's the face of Shiamak. She's the only girl that I know that till today, every single, forget star, like Priyanka Chopra gushes over Anisha. I mean, all the stars do, all the dancers do, they look up to her. So for me, she's the face of Shiamak. It's very difficult to say my best student, but all my students have proved to, have done a fabulous job. And from Shahid to Aishwarya in the beginning, to Varun, to Sushant Singh Rajput, to Sonakshi Sinha, to Priyanka. I mean, they've all been fabulous. My Hollywood performers as dancers are, I think, Gene Kelly. There's no one like him. There's no one, and there will never be anyone like him. And in the women, it's Sid Charisse. For me, these are the two icons. Well, I don't find any shows challenging. I find them always, the word for me is I like to do things that are very different. So I don't find that a challenge, because in my dance forms, Bollywood has a very typical pattern of hook steps. So I like to change the hook steps unless the stars want to do the same hook steps. So I try and change and try and give the audience a different perspective of every song, because we have so many award shows and every award show has the same songs for the same year. So we try and make it very different, very unusual, with a lot of different props and costuming, and just the general view has to be very different from what we see all the time or hear all the time. So for example, if Badrinath Ki Dulhania has to be done, again in an award show and again in an award show and again in an award show. So how do we change it every time? So that's really important for us. So I'm always wishing, and I always try and make everything very different and very unique. And I don't know if you've seen my recent song Ullu Ka Patta, which is done for Jaga Jasoos. If you see the choreography, it's very hard to do the choreography. It looks very simple and twerky and quirky and crazy and mad, but at the end of the day, it's very difficult movement because it's very subtle, like less is more. So it's very difficult to do, but it's that kind of thing that I have to change every show. Now suppose I have to do Jaga Jasoos song every award show. I'll have to change it every time. I can't do the same Uluka Patta song the same way in all the shows. I have to change it every time. So it's not a challenge, it's fun. I love doing it. I think dance reality shows are good because I never had a platform to ever come on screen and perform and show myself. I had to go door to door begging to give me a classroom for classes. I had to go and get, just so much of rejection. When I would go to places to start dance classes, I would only face rejection. So anything that's promoting dance for me is great. I just wish that the dance reality shows were not so repetitive, in the sense of the dancers are only into the genre of hip hop and contemporary, and I think they have to expand their vocabulary a little more in the dance reality shows. But I'm very grateful they're there, because if they were not there, then today, for example, a rickshawala's son or a poor street child who's so phenomenally talented won't have the opportunity. So therefore, this is a very good platform for them. I think the best compliment I've ever received is my mother telling me that, son, you're a good human being, and that's very important for me. And I was very touched hearing that. My favorite dancer in Bollywood will always be Helen. Classical Bollywood. The same. Bollywood. Even more Bollywood. I don't know about Shahid. I think Shahid's a mix of Shiamak style and Bollywood. Shiamak style Bollywood. Shiamak style Bollywood. All my students. Classic Bollywood. The best. The best. The most stunning, graceful, legendary Bollywood. The finest Bollywood dancer.